Okus, and welcome to Book 101 Review. Book 101 is about the books that I read for the last 40 years, and today I have my special guest. She's a meta certified ad strategist and consultant helping online coaches scale through purpose driven ad campaigns, no other than Miss Carol Kabaale.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. And you got it right on the first try. I love it already.
Welcome to Book 101, Miss Carol, and can you please introduce more about yourself?
So, thank you, Daniel. I'm Carol Kabaale. As you mentioned, I help people with their ads. I'm also really passionate about going beyond the ads and creating an ecosystem because it really is more than that. If you think about it, ads are just like an invitation, right? So, you
Yes.
get an invitation to go somewhere. And then once you get there, you want the party or the event to be just as exciting. And that's really what I hone into, right? So I make sure that the ad is great, but everything else that comes afterwards is equally as amazing. So think about your emails, your landing pages, what your social media is like. And really, we create an ecosystem which invites people to get to know you in a very casual way. And so it creates a ripple effect where they know, like, and trust you and ultimately convert better because of it.
Miss Carol Kabaale, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. And today let's
Thank
talk
you.
about, yes, you're most welcome. And today let's talk about it's not just an ad, it's an ecosystem. And how would you define an advertising ecosystem versus traditional ad campaigns?
So I would say what makes it different having an ecosystem is that you're not like throwing spaghetti at the wall or praying and hoping that it works. Once you have your ecosystem in place, you can actually kind of like put in money into your ad and get predictability on what you're going to get out. So most people, and this is the mistake that I see, is that they go into ads thinking, oh, I put $100 in, I'm going to be a millionaire tomorrow. And if that was the case, trust me, Daniel, I would not be here. I would be wearing a bikini, drinking a margarita somewhere on an island. Because if it was that simple, trust me, I would not be here. So that's why it's a little bit harder than just throwing money at it and hoping you become a millionaire, right? By
Yes.
having an ecosystem, you guarantee that your ads perform at a certain level. And therefore, when they get to your landing page, website, or whatever service that you're offering, they convert at a certain level. Most of my clients convert at over, like in case of like landing pages, above 60%, which really ensures that we're getting most of the people seeing their ads turn into clients. And then from there, if they don't buy, that's okay because people buy when they're ready. We loop them into an email nurture sequence, right? Or we start showing them, if my client is more active on social media, we start showing them more of their social media posts that position them as the person that they are in their industry. So the industry leader that they are. And it just makes it better. And one thing I would say, if you're running ads, you really need to have the three C's. And I like C's because my name is Carol. And the three C's that I always go by are clarity, connection, and conversion. So, what does clarity mean, right? If you have clarity, it means have you checked your messaging? Does the messaging on your ads equate to the promise that they're going to get at the second location? What happens after they click the ad? Is it the same experience? Then connection. Are you building a relationship or are you just pitching? Are you just these people who are like, buy my stuff, buy my stuff? If that's you, let me tell you, you are repelling people because people can like literally smell it, right? I always
Yes.
like to say, think about going to a bar or think about wherever you like going to, wherever it is, and you meet a handsome man or a handsome woman and they approach you and they are like, hey, I want to marry you. And you don't know this person. That's the same thing as you saying, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. That same, ew, what are you doing? Feeling Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you want to get married. I don't know. That's up to you, but that's probably only the 1%. But if most people would be taken a little aback and would be like, I'm so sorry, I don't know you. I need to understand you a little bit before we go into something. And right, then we get to my last C, which is conversion, which is making it an easy yes. Now, if we carry on with this dating analogy, let's say you've been dating someone for like 9 years, or in my case, I like waited for my husband to propose to me for 9 years. I almost asked him, does he want my blood type or something? But in that, when he finally said, hey, will you marry me? It was an easy yes. So, what are you doing to make it easy for people to say, yes, take my money, this is how I can help? And that's how you create a marketing ecosystem.
Interesting indeed, Miss Carol. And what key shift in customer behavior made this ecosystem approach necessary?
I think, Daniel, people just got tired of being sold to, and people are just tired of being like, buy my stuff, as well as like, no one wants fluff. Let's be so honest. If you don't have to work with me, you don't have to work with anyone, because YouTube University is a real thing, AI is a real thing. But what makes the shift of creating tangible steps where you can track people, right? What makes it so important is that you can meet people where they are, and you can show up as your most authentic self and be of service. I think there's something really different about coming from a place of service and saying to someone, hey, I'm here to help you. This is how I can help you. And if we're not a good fit, that's fine. Or you can come from a place of like, okay, let me just take your money. And if I help you, I help you. And if I don't, I don't. I think people are tired of that. People are tired of the gurus. People are tired of the fluff and the fakeness. And we want some tangible things. If we're going to invest money in it, I want to know that I'm getting something out. And that's exactly what the ecosystem does.
Can you share an example of a brand that successfully built an ad ecosystem?
I mean, most brands have it. Like, let me think. Let's use a clothing brand because that'll be an easy one. I think most of us will understand that one. Pick whatever clothes you like. You could even do like Shein, for example, their ads, or even like, yeah, let's do Shein because that's an easy one. You see their stuff, right? You see their
Yes.
ads, or you go on their website and you see their things. Maybe you're attracted by the low prices, or maybe you're attracted by the fact that there's something particular you want there. Then after that, you start like seeing their ads everywhere. And some of us, I myself used to be like this before, many years ago, before I was in marketing. I used to think it was a sign. Oh my gosh, the dress is following me around the internet. It must be a sign that I need to check out and clear my cart. It's not a sign, it's marketing. It's meant to make them stay top of mind, regardless of whatever service you have, right? And then once you go to check out, the checkout process is very seamless. In fact, it's so seamless that often once you go back, they want to incentivize you and they want to reward you and say, hey, thank you for coming back. Here's an extra 10% off. Hey, thank you so much for this. And they make it so easy for you to check out, right? Because you've built that connection before. And then after your sale, that's where they carry on. They don't just leave you. No, they send you emails, they'll send you promos. If it's your birthday, they make a big deal about it. And that is truly how many successful brands just become part of our lives. And with that connection in place, why would you choose someone else when you're top of mind whenever you need something will go to them because you had such a pleasant experience and you're likely to repeat it again. See, our brains as humans, we don't like change. So if something's worked, why go find something else? So if you as a business owner can be that safe place for your clients, then why would they go anywhere else?
Very well said. Very well said, Miss Carol.
Thank you.
Indeed, an ecosystem. Let's talk about the channel. Oh, yes. Channel integration. How do you determine with channels belong in a brand's ecosystem?
So I think it will, I personally think it depends on what you as a brand want to do, right? Most of my clients, I work with coaches, consultants, people in service businesses, or entrepreneurs. Most of them just having one or two channels like Facebook and Instagram, for example, like socials, maybe a website is enough. Okay. If you have a more diverse brand, or you have like an e-commerce brand, you might need to be, some in other publications. You might need to have a billboard, you might need to be on radio. But what I always say is like, don't go for the shiny object syndrome. So, for example, here's a really good example. A couple of years ago, I remember when we had the pandemic, there was this platform called, oh, it's even for, I even forgot it now what it was called. Anyway, it was a platform that you needed to get an invitation, and then once you got the invitation, you were in it, and then people would talk and they would have conversation, and it blew up. I think like throughout the whole pandemic, we were all obsessed with this platform. Again, it might come to me and I'll remember what it was called. Again, it was, and people were obsessed with it, and many people built their businesses around it. But now it's gone, and that's it. So
Hmm.
I would say, right, building your whole business on one platform is not the way to go. Another example of that is my own personal example. I had a Facebook account, just my own personal one. It's one that I had, I think, since I started on Facebook in 2008. Oh my gosh, many years ago. And it had my basically my whole life on it. And that account got hacked. And there was really nothing I could do to get it back. And it was also the account where I built part of my business on. So all those contacts, all those informations, all the group I had, it had over 5,000 people in it, gone. But that didn't stop me because I had other channels. So when choosing your channel, I would say choose what feels right for you. If your business is more B2B, like business to business, maybe you want to be on like LinkedIn, or you need to talk to decision makers, even if it's a B2C, a business to client relationship, maybe you need to be somewhere a little bit more formal, a little bit more orientated like that. If your brand is more fun, more energetic, you're trying to get like a more youthful place, maybe somewhere like TikTok is where you should be. And let me just tell you, for those of you that think Facebook and Instagram is like where all the old people are, or maybe it's not as exciting, that's fine. Because that's also where the people who have jobs and incomes are chilling. And those people are likely to be customers. So don't forget about the tried and tested Facebook and Instagram, because truly that's still where a lot of decision makers or people with buying powers are. So choose something that goes with your brand and stick with it, but always have a backup. That would be my suggestion.
Miss Carol, what's the biggest mistake brands make when they are trying to coordinate messages across platforms?
I think it's inconsistency. And I think it's definitely not letting things go. Often I see we're doing this, then we're doing that. We're doing this, and we're doing that. There's a lot. I understand the need to pivot and change as the market pivots and change. But if you're constantly changing your messaging, for example, you're confusing your buyers and your audience. So by having a clear message, this is what we do, this is who we serve, regardless of what the market is doing, the people who need your products and service will find you because your message is very clear. For example, if I use myself, I don't build websites, for example, but I'm not going around talking about, hey guys, this is how you build a website. This is the software you use. This is the AI. This is the, no, I know my lane. My lane is marketing. My lane is helping people build their ecosystems. And when someone thinks about me, they're like, oh, yes, that's what Carol does, right? Like Daniel
Yes.
has this great podcast. He speaks about books in it. He speaks to people like myself. When they think about, oh, who should I listen to today? That's going to be like really a fun conversation. Oh, let me think about Daniel. You want to be the obvious choice for them. So that would be what I think.
Miss Carol, as a certified the strategies consultant, what are your short term and long term goals?
So, business wise, I think I've done pretty well for myself, to be quite honest. I don't mean that financially. I've always been the kind of business owner that likes to have a plan,
Oh, people, I want to apologize. Miss Carol is disconnected right now while we are waiting for her. I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast. Oh, Miss Carol, you just disappeared for a minute. So, uh, are you ready for my next interview? Next question? Hello, test mic. Hello. Miss Carol, are you there?
I can't
Hello.
hear.
Hello, are you? Yes, I can hear you now. Yes, I can hear you now. So let's continue your short-term and
Hello.
long-term goals. Yes,
There we go. Sorry about
yes,
that. Short term
no,
and long term goals. Let's
yes,
go
no
back there.
worries.
I was saying that uh, my goals are more personal at this point in my life. I've always been the kind of entrepreneur who I knew I didn't want to build like $1 million business. Nothing wrong if that's who you want to be. But for me, it was more important to have time freedom, and it was more important to the money that comes with it. I got to use it to spend time with my family, to spend time with my friends, to have adventures in this world and just, I don't know, see more of it. So that's something that I've always been passionate about. So, in terms of that, my long term and goals are always to have more time freedom. How can I still be of service? How can I be a great business owner, a great wife, but also be very present in this human experience? How can I be a good person and a kind person? How can I be of service? So, those are really my long term goals. And my short term goals are really right now, I'm in the phase of transitioning a little bit of my agency, and we're looking to do maybe also a podcast. So that's in my short term goal view. It's
Mhm.
something I'm excited. I've been doing interviews the last year and I've done a couple of them and I've really enjoyed them. So I thought maybe I should give it a try. So look out for that maybe soon.
Why not? Good luck to your goals, Miss Carol. I'm looking forward for more success. And what will be your piece
Thank
of
you.
advice for those people out there want to be like you?
I would say do it. Do it
Do it.
scared.
Yes.
Do it. Do it scared. Do it without preparation. Do it without knowing how to do it. One really, I would say, interesting thing about me in this journey is that I did it just like that. I had a very comfortable 6 figure corporate job. I worked for a really fancy company and they would fly me all different places because this was a hospitality company. And one day I was so burnt out, I was so tired, and I was just like, is this going to be me? Am I going to do this until I'm 65 and I'm tired and I don't look nice and I have wrinkles? And then I'm going to start living my life. Is this really what I want to do? And I knew that life and God had something bigger for me. I just knew that this wasn't the experience that was meant for me. So I quit. And I kid you not, Daniel, I told no one. I didn't tell anyone in my family. I didn't tell my fiance at the time. I just quit. And I don't encourage this unless you're really just going to do it. But that's what I did. I just quit and I said, I'm going to make it work. And it was that need of having nothing else to fall back on that really pushed me to be successful. There was no other plan, there was no option. We had to succeed, and therefore I did. So if you're passionate about something, if you want to do something, just do it. Forget what people are saying. People are always going to say something. Forget
True.
not having the money. You will find the money. Just go out there and start.
Again, very well said, Miss Carol. Truly, truly empowering. Yes, people don't care about people or about say about you because you know if you have the passion, please share to the world, just like
Mm.
Miss Carol. So thank you for that advice, and can you please recommend a book or books that influence your journey?
Okay, so one of my favorite books, I've got two little tidbits here. One is the book that I really enjoyed, and I struggle still with this, but it was really good, was Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. It's a book about tackling the most important task first and not letting procrastination be rob you of the momentum. So in my life, I found that like there's so many distractions, especially like I get to work in a really fun place. I get to do marketing. I get to, create videos and look at people's websites, and I get to like think about concepts, and that all can be very much noisy. It can be like very shiny and exciting. But I need to remind myself that I also need to work in my business, and I need to have income generating activities like having conversations, meeting new people, setting up sales calls, sending invoices, which I sometimes forget. And it's important to not be distracted by that. So, by eating that frog, by doing the most difficult thing first, you actually get a lot more done. So, every day, what I do is I have a notebook and I write 3 things that are non negotiable. Like, I'm not going to leave this desk until I get it done, and they're for my business. And then everything else that I get to do is a bonus. So, that's kind of what I do. And I tackle whatever is on my 3-step list, one little bite at a time or one little task at a time until it's done. And that's what I do business wise. I will also say, right, I am an avid romance reader. I love a good romance book. I
Mhm.
very much that kind of girly. Book Talk has definitely influenced me, but I've been a reader of romance books all my life. And all of this that I say to you is because, yes, it's great to read business books or self help books, but sometimes I want you to just give yourself some grace. Just go read a story about a guy and a girl who fall in love, and it has nothing to do with you. And you just get to watch it play out and get your brain to relax and not think about money or worries or whatever it is going on in your life. It's just you and this faraway place, whatever makes you happy. I've often found that sometimes when I'm really in it and I'm having like a stressful day, it's so nice to deal with other people's problems, for example, in these other books, than have to deal with my own. And in a way, it gives me perspective to think like, you know what? My problems aren't that deep. It's fine. I'm okay.
Yes, indeed. Enjoy yourself, relax,
Yeah.
and well, scroll the world. And thank you for that recommendation, Miss Carol. And what emerging technology will most impact how we build ad ecosystems?
Oh my gosh, I would say AI. If you are not using AI, I don't know where you've been. I don't know what you're doing, but it's like AI is like the internet was. I don't want to give my age away because, I'm hiding my gray hairs under here, but AI is like the internet. Once it came, you can't bring it back. Now that it's here, we can either embrace it or we can be like, oh, I don't want to deal with this. I'm not going to learn it. I'm not going to, oh, it's too difficult. If you are that person, whether you're a business owner or not, like we use AI in my household, we use it for everything. We use it to plan our holidays, we use it to look up recipes, we use it for a lot. It's so useful, okay? And if at least you can get used to it, building anything, not only an ad ecosystem, is going to change the way you do life, period. Because one, it's going to give you more time back because what you thought would take you an hour could take you a couple of seconds, right? Think
Yes.
about writing tasks, think about coming up with concepts, think about brainstorming. Often the easiest way that I, for example, use AI to in my ecosystems is I talk to it and I talk back with it and I brainstorm like that. And it's very helpful. Sometimes being an entrepreneur is really lonely and I'm like here in my office by myself, but I can have a quick conversation and I can think things through. And then coming up with client specific messaging is really good because once you've taught the AI, this is how this brand acts and thinks and speaks, it can come up with the copy for you. Now, again, once it comes up with it, I still have a copywriter on my team. It doesn't mean we don't go through the copywriter and still like edit and look and see, but it's most of the time it's really good, especially if it knows what it's doing. So use AI. Do not be scared of it. And don't think you have to use one. That's why I won't say which one you must go use. Pick one, doesn't matter. Just go and try it out and see what it does for you and see how you can get the most out of it.
Definitely. And Miss Carol, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people, my other podcast, because my Abstract Essay is already in fifth season, Abstract Poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too, Comedy 101 in second season, and my Food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast, Law 101 and Mental Health 101 Love Letters in third season, and Movie 101 Review and Music 101 in fourth season, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Miss Carol, if you could change one thing about how brands approach advertising today, what would it be?
I think that's a nice question. I really like that one. If I could change one thing is to probably not lie um, on how easy it is. Some brands make it feel so effortless to just get to six-figure businesses, seven-figure businesses. Oh, just do one, two, three, four, and it's easy. And for someone starting out, you feel a lot of pressure to become that brand. I want to tell you that all those big shiny brands started out just like you. They started with a focus, they started with a dream, they started with a mission. And because they scaled and because they were consistent, they became what they are today. So, if I could change one thing, it would probably be this aspect of everything is perfect, everything is shiny and new, and you have to do so much. No, you don't. Run your race on your own, and the right people will find you. One of my favorite sayings of all times, and I have it here in my office, is what you don't change, you choose. And I want you to choose what is right for you and not compare yourself to anybody else.
Miss Carol Kabaale, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please
Thank
invite our
you.
listeners to support your advocacy, your business, or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Well, thank you, Daniel. Well, if you would like to run some ads and you want to build this ecosystem that we've been talking about, you are welcome to go to my website. Daniel has it on the screen, or it will be, I'm sure, in the show notes. It's just carolkabaale.com. And on there, you can apply to work with us. And if it's a good fit, we'll reach out and yeah, we'll get a call. So excited to hear from you.
Yes, people support Miss Carol Cavalli because if you support her for sure, more and more and more empowering business to come. So, Miss Carol, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
More to come, people. See you soon.